Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Chelsea deciding to join Arsenal in £60 million Alexander Isak transfer race after Spain showing, and then we're going to look at Arsenal reigniting interest in Houssem Aouar and preparing bid and contract for Lyon maestro. So the first transfer headline states that Chelsea decided to join Arsenal in £60 million Alexander Isak transfer race after Spain showing. So the reports are stating that Alexander Isak is attracting huge interest from Premier League clubs this summer. Chelsea have decided to join Arsenal in the race for Alexander Isak this summer, newspaper reports in Spain claim. The Swedish striker caught the eye in the Euro 2020 opener against Spain in Seville, despite the match finishing goalless. Isak was a constant threat throughout and came close to opening the score in the first half when his shot was cleared off the line and onto the post. The Spanish defenders of course know him well from La Liga, where he has flourished with Real Sociedad. Last season, he fired 17 goals for the Basque club and was named the Young Player of the Season in Spain. Isak's performances in Andalusia on Monday night saw him lavished in praise, and now Premier League clubs are beginning to circle. Arsenal was said to have identified Isak as a target before the tournament as his stock continues to rise, according to today's print edition of Spanish newspaper AS. Chelsea have now joined the Gunners in the race for the 21-year-old, who has a release clause of £60 million, which is €70 million. The Blues are on the lookout for a new striker and want to sign Erling Haaland, the man who effectively ended Isak's hopes of making the grade at Borussia Dortmund. Yet, Chelsea are aware that signing the Norwegian could prove difficult given his value, and therefore alternatives are being identified. Isak is a lethal finisher, has pace to burn, and displayed his nimble footwork against the Spanish defence. He is also used to leading the line on his own, something that could suit both Chelsea and Arsenal. Liverpool are also said to be interested, and Roberto Firmino will not be around forever at Anfield as Jurgen Klopp looks to strengthen. Former England and Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand was impressed with what he saw from the young Swede earlier this week. This kid Isak, he was a problem today for the defenders in the Spain team, he said in the BBC studio. He was a nuisance. He showed today why he's got Young Player of the Year in La Liga. He was the outlet. We were surprised really when he got brought off. He must be thinking about the coming games or something like that. Meanwhile, Chris Sutton believes Isak is certain to end up in the Premier League. Great prospect, isn't he? Chris Sutton told Radio 5 Live. Wasn't he at Dortmund for a while? He's at Real Sociedad now and has done great things. With his age, the way he's developing, I am sure that most certainly he will end up in the Premier League. So it looks like Chelsea decided to join Arsenal in the £60 million Alexander Isak transfer race, and Alexander Isak continues to impress after his Spain showing, as this time against Slovakia, he was the one that won the award for the player of the match and the person that deserves to be the man of the match of that game. And when it comes to Alexander Isak, he is someone that could lead the line by himself. He could be the Alexander Lacazette replacement, and he could be someone that could develop into a very good lethal striker for the future. So this nicely takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Arsenal reignite interest in Houssem Aouar and prepare bid and contract for Lyon maestro. So the reports are stating that Arsenal are back in contention to sign Lyon midfielder Houssem Aouar, who was the subject of two bids last summer from the Gunners. Arsenal are ready to test the resolve of Lyon by attempting to sign Houssem Aouar for the second successive summer, reports claim. The Frenchman was the subject of two bids from the Gunners last September, which fell way short of Lyon's valuation as the Ligue 1 side held firm. But Arsenal have now been offered hope they can finally land the midfield playmaker on the cheap. Lyon failed to qualify for the Champions League last season, a huge economic blow for President Jean-Michel Aulas, and the club are conscious they may need to balance the books. Mikel Arteta did eventually bring in a midfielder on deadline day after depositing Thomas Partey's £45 million release clause at La Liga headquarters. However, it is understood that the Spaniard still wants to bring another midfielder through the door as he looks to drive his side off the table. It is claimed that Arsenal are now ready to bid around £20 million for Houssem Aouar, who is back on their radar. Furthermore, the Gunners are prepared to offer him a long-term contract worth an estimated £100,000 a week. Barcelona and Juventus were ready to rival Arsenal for Houssem Aouar last September, but interest in the France international has now cooled. It's been a busy week for Arsenal in the transfer markets as Edu looks to get to work and land a number of top targets. Brighton rejected an opening £40 million offer for Ben White 2 days ago and Arsenal expected to up their bid. And when it comes to Houssem Aouar, it remains unclear whether the reported pursuits of Houssem Aouar will impact negotiations with the Belgians for Lokonga. In terms of outgoing, it is understood that a number of exits are now close to being finalised, and these players that are being sold, such as the likes of Mavropanos, Guendouzi, Granit Xhaka and Hector Bellerin, it could free up some space and especially the wage bill and allow Mikel Arteta to have more funds to spend in the summer transfer window, and he views Houssem Aouar as a suitable target to play alongside Thomas Partey or in that number 10 position. And in terms of Houssem Aouar, it looks like Arsenal are reigniting their interest in him and they are preparing a bid worth £20 million and a contract worth £100,000 per week for Lyon Maestro. And when it comes to his wages, that is something that Sead Kolasinac was earning at the club. That is something that Shkodran Mustafi was earning at the football club, the likes of Socrates. So £100,000 per week is not a huge sum for the Gunners, given the fact that they spend over £350,000 for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Other players are in that region of £100,000 above. So when it comes to Houssem Aouar, he's someone that could be vital for Mikel Arteta next season, given the fact that it looks like the owners are ready to back Mikel Arteta and it looks like there's a spending spree of £250 million. There are reports stating that, so we have to wait and see. But when it comes to Houssem Aouar, it looks like Arsenal are going to go back in and try and bring in this time on the cheap, because last time they wanted around €50 million plus, but now 20 million to 25 million euros is something that Lyon would be desperate to grab, given the fact that they have a very bad financial situation given their TV sponsors, and Ligue 1 in general has been struggling with money unless you're PSG. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup poster using the special link I have put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 20 likes. Also, subscribe for more daily Arsenal news videos and click one of the latest videos on the screen, and I'll see you there.